Drinkin Bros, presented by Ghost.
A little volume in the headphones. Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros, kids. Hump day, Dan. Hump day.
What does that mean?
I don't know, man. I keep getting it like text messages still to this day.
Is it because Wednesday is a W?
Yeah.
Or is it because it's the middle, like the saddle of the week?
It's either way. I'm tired of hearing it. Just go out and have unprotected sex like an adult. You don't have to say hump day. I don't care about that. Call it reverse cowgirl day. Something other than hump day.
I think we've progressed beyond hump day, right? I mean, we used to say, darn it, and then we say, damn it, shoot turned into shit.
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you progress, you go forward with your profanity and your perverseness, not backward, right? That's why the Marquis de Sade was always in trouble, because he kept saying 21st century shit, but it was back in the day.
Yeah.
If you just say that shit now, I mean, you can get away with anything. So why are we going in reverse?
Not sure. If we are going in reverse, let's go reverse cowgirl.
Yeah.
You know? That's all I can tell you here. Got a hot show today, kids. A lot going on. A lot of weird shit going on today. It's going to be one of those weird days today where we just chop it up about the world and why things are happening the way they are here.
Some such nonsense as that, yeah.
As you'll notice, the title of this show is Iran's Flirty aerobics instructors here. This is a wild one. You would know this world better than me. Obviously, not aerobics, but espionage, Dan. There is hackers who were attempting to spike the system in England, but they were working for Iran as aerobics instructors. And they were kind of hot. Like, I'm looking at the pictures of them now.
Like dudes?
Girls. These are women.
Yeah, you don't typically, well, excuse me, if you're trying to compromise an officer, like a person that works in the intelligence community, you don't send the best looking person ever because they are suspicious of that. But if you're trying to compromise some normal dum-dum, you send the hottest motherfucker you can, obviously. Why would you not do that?
Yeah.
Like it's the bubble. Hot people live in the bubble. They get things that other people don't get, out of tickets, free shit, treated differently. It's a reality that the intelligence community has been exploiting for as long as it's existed, as it should, right? That's the whole point.
I love it, and I don't have a problem with it, even more so that it's females. She was going by the name Marcy, which is a fun thing. So it starts with flirty emails, obviously, and then photos, and then videos. So she's sending a little workout videos and things like that.
This just sounds like Instagram to me.
Yeah. This is, it starts with Facebook and everything else. But I guess, looking at this, that's how it all starts, right? You kind of send all this shit, and then it's like, all right, is this real? And homegirl, look, two of these girls ended up being real. So they were, running gyms and just doing some fun shit. I want to know, because I'm looking at the picture here, I want to know how Iran knew that these girls were hot enough when typically you're wearing burqas and shit, right?
Well, I don't know what the level of burqa wear in Iran is, to be honest. I mean, I know it used to be a lot more westernized than it is today, but I'm not sure it is the same as it was in Afghanistan under Taliban rule either.
Are you de-burqing, though? Is that what we're doing? Hey, I need you to pull up the shit so I can see your face. Because I'll be honest, during the pandemic, there was a lot of people who I'm seeing their faces for the first time after wearing masks for like a year, like doctors and such.
So the hijab is compulsory. The hijab is the one that just goes over the top of your head and I think under your chin, but not the full beekeeper outfit.
Okay. All
so
right.
they're not. It's not as quite as bad as the Taliban. Interestingly enough, and I appreciate the fact that people who are from these cultures might have more to say or feel about that particular article of clothing than a white man in America, right? Mm-hmm. But it seems weird to me that the left in general and a lot of pro-Islamic activists have defended that piece of clothing or wear it now to celebrate their culture. I mean, it only exists for one reason, and that is to subjugate and suppress and oppress women.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it exists.
Yeah.
So you turned that into a fashion statement and a moral argument? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, there's no that's again, there's no irony in fundamentalism. These people don't understand how fucking ignorant they are, and they truly feel like they're coming from a position of empathy and moral righteousness, but they could not be more fucked. It's amazing to me. It blows my goddamn mind we still do this shit.
Same. The other part about this is, speaking of the beekeeper outfit, like, if you're an aerobics instructor, you've got to have a pretty toned body. People? Yeah. Pop them up. Their faces are blurred out, so it's kind of tough. I'm looking at it right now.
Can you just show me?
Hot Bob is out today because he almost had a baby. Did the baby come out of it? Did the baby crown?
I don't think so.
The baby came out and saw Bob and said, "You know what?
Going back inside.
Going back in for a while. It's too white out here.
6 more weeks of vagina."
That's
what the baby said.
He's wearing Skechers. Are you fucking kidding me? Get some Heelys on, Dad. No, he's doing fine.
Bob's doing fine. Yeah, the girl's face is blurred out, but I'm looking at the body here of this Iranian chick, and it's, look, again, if you're trying to trick a bunch of people, where did she find the time to work out? And then there's got to be something with the government where it's like, hey, dude, you're going to go in as an aerobics instructor. We've got to see that body. We got to check up under the hood there. Why don't you pull your shit off?
Women don't exactly have rights in Iran, so I don't think that this situation you're describing is odd. Probably isn't so odd there.
Okay.
Frankly.
Her name is Marcela Flores, and you can pop that up because it's the fake name. This looks like her.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing is like just really
blurred out, right?
No, bad websites that are going to give us viruses.
Well, do we care at that point?
We'll call Elon.
I mean, she got us too. She hacked into us as well.
I'm sure she already has. Why are the pictures blurred out though?
She's a secret agent, Dan, and that's what happens to a secret agent.
No, what? No, that's not what her profile looked like.
Maybe
No.
she never.
No one would fucking talk to her.
If anybody could find it, it would be Giorgio. One would imagine.
I mean, she's wearing a mask, anyways.
Yeah,
he can't spell aerobics,
but he can spell Marcela Flores. You know, is he locked in real time there?
Too many syllables.
Too many syllables for you. Look at that. The one that I'm looking at here that's blurred out is a total guess. I really want to find this chick, but the one I'm looking at is she kind of has an old school J-Lo vibe from the Fly Girls, not like currently where she's fucking Ben Affleck.
Not at all helpful in any way possible.
Okay, but the name I can give you. I can give you the full fucking name, and you cannot find that.
Yeah, you know how many people on the fucking internet are Marcela Flores?
I can't imagine it'd be a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude.
Is it really?
Flores is like Smith. What are you talking about?
I can't. Shit, we go to that restaurant, Flores. So maybe who knows?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, then maybe it's popular. Dan is what I'm saying.
But what might be problematic? Let's say a country like Iran is actively posing as Latin Americans, for example, like this one.
Yeah.
How could that possibly affect our country? Because we've got a pretty good stronghold on the southern border, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what's happening, but it seems like that's true.
It seems like it.
Is that right?
Here you go.
There we go. Look at that.
I'm also running the board. I'm doing a
Who
million
did
things.
this? You did it?
Oh, Dan found that, but
Genius. You're a genius,
that's definitely
Delco
not
Dan.
a real woman's face. That's made by an AI.
No.
Yeah.
No, they've got other pictures of her doing shit in this article. That looks like her.
That looks kind of fake.
Yeah, that looks like her.
But maybe it's her, yeah. I don't know.
And that's all in Spanish, too. So she's going with a Spanish vibe.
Aerobics instructor at the
Harbor Health Club in Liverpool. Yes, that's where it took place.
She definitely didn't make this, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's where she worked, though. She worked at the Liverpool one, so it's pretty hard to hide. You could just roll into the Liverpool Health Club, the Harbor Health Club, and be like, hey, is Marcela Flores here? One would imagine there's not that many Latinos / Iranians in there.
In Liverpool?
In Liverpool, yeah.
You wouldn't expect so, but hey. What are you going to do?
I love the whole story, though. Good for them. Good for Iran. If you can trick somebody with a fake aerobics instructor, you deserve to be hacked, I think. You know? Not at one point in this life have I ever looked at an aerobics instructor and been like, man, I would love to give them all my personal information and bank account shit.
Right.
You know? No, it's never happened to me before.
No.
Well, once as a kid. Once.
Who was it?
It was Richard Simmons. It was Dick Simmons, dude. My mom, so Richard Simmons was traveling, and he was going around the country doing like different aerobics classes and all that other shit. And it was a big deal for moms and everything. And I got to go to one of the things that she went to with Richard. I got to see Richard Simmons. So yeah, that one I would have fallen for probably.
You mean you would have given him your money if he had been a grifter?
I would have given him a lot more than that, Dan.
And you were how old at that time?
Who knows? You know, time is an hourglass.
I don't think Richard Simmons ever came back from.
He's still locked away.
I don't think he ever came back from Conan O'Brien. Let that dog hump the puppet version of him on the Tonight Show or the Late Show.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah,
like he got really mad about it and never fucking. I don't remember him doing any press after that.
He's hiding. Well, there was a full fucking doc on him and a whole podcast series on Richard Simmons missing. It's very similar to the Britney Spears thing where he's under some conservatorship and he's had a mental breakdown and
that's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess pretending to not be gay, despite being the most flamboyantly gay person on earth for a couple of decades, will fuck your brain up.
Dan, we don't know that he's gay. Okay.
Not every gay person talks like that, right? But only gay people talk like that. That's a David Cross joke from If Baseball Had AIDS, I believe was the name of the comedy album.
And by the way, hopefully his partner's doing well. Mr. Show with Bob and Dave. Bob is in the hospital. Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul fame and Breaking Bad, obviously collapsed on set yesterday, and they rushed him to the hospital. I'll tell you this. If you collapse on set, it's the best place to do it. There's medics and everything right there. I mean, he was in and out of there in under 2 minutes, I heard. So hopefully he gets better.
Yeah, I love. He's a great actor.
That guy's fucking awesome.
There's some movie. Has it been released yet? His new movie that's where he's like a fucking former operator.
Yeah, it's called Nobody. It's out.
Is that what it's called?
Uh-huh.
Fuck, I might watch that tonight.
Dude.
I've heard it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but reading through this article a little bit more, it's these were fake profiles that they made, and they sent times DMing with people back and forth to gain information.
Oh, they weren't there?
No.
They weren't in Liverpool.
No.
Fuck, dude.
These are the Tinder bots you swipe right on, and then they ask for your credit card information to get them into the country.
See how easily I'm fooled, Giorgio? So imagine everybody else in the whole fucking country of England right now. Giving up their money, giving up their passwords, all of it. Man. Have you ever been tricked on it?
Have I ever been catfished?
Yeah.
Never to the point of meeting someone fake. I can usually smell a rat, but you know.
Yeah.
I've been attempted to be catfished thousands, hundreds of thousands of times.
Really? What do you look for? What do you look for personally?
Grainy photos, their face being covered in most things, generic phrases that seem to be talking to anyone, especially ones that are used over and over and over again. People who want to take you off one platform to another platform and are requesting any kind of information from you, like right off the bat. And it's usually kind of something that seems too good to be true.
What platform would they be taking you to?
Like wherever you find them. If you find them on one place, they'll send you a link to take you to another, or it's usually to subscribe to malware. They want you to click on links to then get malware onto your system.
Somebody's saying here, if Ross is as bad at the internet, hopefully he doesn't have credit cards. No, look, luckily I was past, like I got married before the Tinder and all that other bullshit days. Or yes, I probably would have lost my car and my house and my dog. Speaking of which, Paige Van Sant did respond.
Yeah, she said that, ha ha ha, no way. Now, I don't know. Look, she's a really good fighter. And again, I went on record saying I'm not interested in fighting anybody. But it's me, you, and Chuck Liddell versus her and her husband, I would imagine, unless she's planning to enlist some other folks in that. And I feel like, with my complete lack of interest in this whole thing, we might win.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah, because I would only be in the way. I would just be like, no, I'm not doing, and you guys would be trying to fight them, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to. But I would still stand there because I think it's funny to be in people's way. So,
so for those of you who are curious, she did respond.
A bet is a bet, though.
A bet's a bet.
Brittany just said it in the chat. A bet is a bet. And Paige, may not be today and it may not be tomorrow, but that dog belongs to Tetherball Academy Media now.
Yeah.
At least some portion of it. We can negotiate visitation and shit like that.
Or the legs. I mean, if we're
Yeah.
talking about a portion of it, I'll take the legs of that dog.
Well, if it's like, I've always dreamed about having a dog with no legs, just a carrying handle on the back.
Yeah.
Right? Like a purse. I mean, if Paris Hilton really wanted a purse dog, you could have made one, honey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You know what she did make in the
she's
backyard
pregnant
of her
now.
house? Is she really?
Yeah.
No way.
Paris Hilton's pregnant.
Who
Yeah,
fucking knocked her up?
Who the fuck knows, dude?
That is the golden ticket.
Oh, yeah.
That is the golden fucking ticket. Congratulations.
Yeah.
If that's
Allegedly
true,
pregnant.
well, if it is true, I'll drop a story about her. If it is true,
Let's see. She has denied pregnancy rumors, but her fiance, Carter Reum, I don't know how to say that word.
Okay.
Or who that is.
so if she's engaged, then I'll tell the story. I don't give a shit.
They did say in January that they were doing IVF, so she's trying to get pregnant. She's 40, by the way.
Oh fuck, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was that old.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine used to date her for a long time. It was like 2 years. Back in the day, this was probably 10 or 12 years ago. And I was like, man, he didn't really do anything like in life. And I was like, dude, all of us were like, I don't understand why you just don't get her pregnant. Like you're good to go for life, right?
Yeah.
I know that sounds terrible, but let's face it, girls do it to guys all the time, so it's kind of whatever. And he goes, dude, trust me, man, I never pull out, and every day I'm shocked that there is no baby or whatever. He goes, I don't know what she's taking, and not that he didn't love her, but he was happy holding a purse and traveling the world, which is exactly what he did for close to 2 years. So, shit, whoever this guy is, if he did get her pregnant, that's the golden ticket. Because the Kelly Clarkson shit that just dropped today, I don't know if you saw that. She got divorced. We talked about
Adele, yeah.
Well,
and her husband cleaned her ass out.
And then Dr. Dre finally settled that divorce, and she definitely didn't forget about Dre.
No.
She's getting $300,000 a month in spousal supports.
Why not just a lump sum?
I don't know.
I mean, if you got a lump sum, you could invest it. $300,000 a month is going to be $300,000, whether it's worth $300,000 in today's dollars or $300,000 in tomorrow's, and tomorrow's might be a lot fucking less.
I'm sure that was part of the negotiation.
Maybe.
But with that,
if I was him, I would rather pay it all off at once.
Yeah, but dude, when I looked at it, I was like, all right, great. Looking at her age and $300K a month, because that's $3.6 million a year.
And she's what, 38?
No, she's 40.
Oh, I thought she was younger.
48, I think. She's gonna live for another fucking 35 years, dude. Dre's gonna owe her around $125 million by the time she's dead, because she's not getting remarried. Let's face it.
Right.
That was in the article too, of like, hey, if she gets remarried, then obviously this is no one. She's not getting remarried. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's a pretty tall bar to get over if you're the impending fiance, right?
Yes.
Like, you can't really impress her with a large diamond ring at that point. You need to be able to deliver $300,000 a month into perpetuity.
Yeah.
So,
I think she ends up in a Mackenzie Bezos sitch where she marries like a teacher or something, and they move on with their lives. But the other one today, because it does go both ways, and that's why I bring this up. Kelly Clarkson today got divorced. It was finalized. This fucking dude is getting $200,000 a month, and it's the dude. So, congratulations. She's going to get the, not sole custody, but the majority, whatever the fuck that's called. And yeah, man, homeboy's going to get $200K a month. I would have rethought that if I was Kelly Clarkson.
I mean, what's the alternative?
Maybe trying to work it out. I don't know, man. She seems too busy to date.
I don't think she really, she probably doesn't care about that amount of money, right?
I didn't know she had that much money. I mean, I knew she had money, but damn, dude.
She's been on a number of those shows, right?
She has, and she hosts her own talk show right now. And that's usually a pretty lucrative gig. You're looking at anywhere from 3 to 8 in there, depending upon what you're able to negotiate. So she's doing that now. But yeah, man, $200K a month, dude. Kelly Clarkson. I didn't know she had it like that. I mean, that's a fucking lot of guys. That's $2.4 million a year, dude, for being married to Kelly Clarkson.
I wonder what let's see.
She was claiming there was some form of prenup.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't go through. So she's going to be coughing this up until they can really get to the bottom of that prenup sitch. But yeah, homeboy's going to get 150 in spousal support.
That must be based on her current earnings, because, I mean, not that they ever get it right, but her celebrity net worth bullshit says somewhere between 45 and 50. So it's probably like 80.
Yeah.
But even at 80, that's like $2 million a year. That's
crazy,
or
dude.
$2.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Forever. Like the guys, they're in their fucking late 30s.
Yeah.
She's like 38 or 39. I think she's younger than me.
Let's see. So he's getting 150 in spousal support, 45,000 for their 2 kids.
Damn, he requested 400. That's what Brittany just said. He requested 400.
He did, yeah.
Jesus Christ. The fucking balls on that guy. Good Lord.
Oh, man. That's crazy, dude.
I wouldn't even think to that's not even a thing I would imagine myself doing.
Wow.
But I guess I'm not a piece of shit, right?
Man, forgot about Dre and then didn't forget about Kelly Clarkson. I wanted to ask your take on this Simone Biles sitch here. Briefly, because I was on air yesterday morning on Ross Patterson Revolution when the story broke, and what I'd said on air was the gymnastics coach for the United States teams are usually fucking gangsters, right? They're there to win medals, and that's it. They don't give a shit about your feelings or anything else.
Right.
Or sexual abuse, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And so here's what I said yesterday. I said, look, I guarantee you they're going to go to her fucking room and go and say, look, you need to tell us right now if you're going to fucking compete or not, because we got to get another girl ready, and we need to give her at least 48 hours prep time for this bullshit. She's going to go out into the whole world, and you need to stop being selfish and do this. And then immediately this morning, she was out. Mm-hmm. So she's out of Thursday's events, is still leaving some of the individual events on the table for next week, potentially. What's your feelings on this? The internet is really divided. There's a lot of people.
Out the individual events.
All of them too?
Yeah.
So the rest of the Olympics she's done?
Yep.
Okay. Then that makes sense. And good, because that at least gives the other girl time to train, because that Jade girl who's taken her place, I watched the qualifying bullshit for it leading up to it, and I thought she destroyed, and the scores were really low. This girl might have a shot now to be a global superstar, and I'm amped about that. Where are you at as far as like her quitting and things like that? Because the internet is real fucking divided on this one. I saw Big Cat post from Barstool Sports earlier. He just said, look, for everybody saying that Michael Jordan would never have done this for mental health, he did when his father died. And
yeah, for a year and a half.
But he played in other sports.
Right.
Where are you at with this? Because people are going both ways, and I haven't heard your take on it.
I don't really care about any of this bullshit. I don't care about the Olympics or people with this fucking me first, I'm prioritizing my mental health as some kind of social currency nonsense instead of doing what I said I would do, frankly. This is an Andrew Luck situation. It's not about the action. It is about the timing in which it occurred, and it occurred to the detriment of other people, right? So don't give me that bullshit. You would have known 3 months ago if you had mental health issues like this that were contributing to whatever the fuck and you needed to take a break or whatever the fuck, right?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. So she should have just done it earlier is my, I guess, distilled opinion on that.
Didn't she earn the right to do it whenever she wanted, though?
No.
Like, in a way,
you never earned the right to put yourself.
I mean, like, as an athlete, she can quit whenever she wants, right? She can hang it up. She couldn't handle the pressure, whatever reason she wants to give. Like, I'm just asking, as an athlete, does she have the right to, even if the most inopportune time to do it?
Right, but does
she have the right to do that as an athlete?
There's no special moral rules that exist inside of athletics that don't exist anywhere else, and it's never acceptable to put other people behind yourself, ever. Like, that's just not. You should never ever do that, in any circumstance. And I like the idea that people are talking about mental health because it's been taboo for a long time. What I don't like is that it is a fucking catch-all for quitters now.
From what I heard, though, is that she was experiencing the yips, So if anything, she thought she would bring her teammates down.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I mean, and I'm not opposed to that either. Like if you're in a stack getting ready to bust through a room and your shit's fucked up, you might want to step out and let somebody that's capable get in there and do it. If you're sitting in a position and a long range shot needs to be made and there's 2 sniper teams present, the guy who's the better shooter takes the shot. It is a meritocracy, right? So, if that's the narrative that is accurate, if the one that she's going to go with, and it's NPR did a story on it to discuss how the whole thing went down, if you want to go read it. If that is indeed accurate, then I don't have a real problem with that, right? Yep. But still, she's put a lot of people in a bad situation by not addressing this shit sooner. Like, the same thing with Andrew Luck. He fucking left his team out to dry a couple of years ago.
He just walked off the field, remember that?
Yeah. He decided right then and there that his bullshit was more important than anybody else's. And that's an okay conclusion to reach, provided you give people enough time to, and look, they have alternates on the team, right? Somebody's going to be there and doing the shit that she was going to be doing, and they might indeed do it better if she's super fucked up. That's true, right? And that whole system exists for a reason. I just think we've been on this for a while. This Osaka woman over the summer in golf, right?
Yep.
Has been doing some of the same stuff. This isn't new. It's not like the public and the media and whomever else are gonna hear you say that 3 months ago and be like, I understand why she's one of the most decorated fucking Olympians in American history, seemingly a very bright young person that's gonna be a good human being.
Yeah.
Right? People root for you. You know what I mean? And maybe some of it is on us. Not us, but us at large in America for not taking this shit seriously not taking it more seriously sooner. You know what I mean? And giving people like this. Because look, it is a bit of a trope now, all of the shit that Olympians go through. They train for fucking years. Maybe since early childhood, to do one thing for a few minutes, maybe a few seconds, maybe. That's an immense amount of pressure for your entire life's work to boil down to a single instance. So people are going to get fucked up by that, by the schedule, by the rigor of the events themselves. We should expect these people to be fucked up. So why is it that at some point in the process, there's some kind of filter where you that test not only their physical capabilities, but also whether or not they're emotionally healthy enough to do what the fuck they're going to do here. It's a high-stress environment. It's the same issue we have with people in the military. It's high stress, high tempo. Then you come out of it, then you're back into it, and you come out of it, and you're back into it, and that adjustment period and the stress in itself will fuck you up over time. And we've never figured out a good way to fucking monitor that shit and see it out front before it happens.
Yeah, and for me personally, when this broke, because again, we were on air the first time, and then the announcement happened, the second one happened this morning, and all that other stuff. Having time to think about it, if it is indeed the yips, like you were saying, Delco, I just think a better explanation would have done it. If she would have gotten to the presser and just said, look, I didn't know where I was in the air. It was super fucking, it felt dangerous, and something is off with me. And I got to step out of it, and that's fine. What I will commend her on is giving the other girl enough time, because she could have rode this out and been a game time decision, quote unquote, up until Thursday night when shit really started to pop off. And that fucking girl who's behind her worked her ass off and did all this crazy shit around the world. She had to enter all these competitions to gather points.
Yeah, Jade Carey. So the qualification process for her was to come in as an individual athlete and not as a part of the Team USA.
So she's a walk-on.
Well, basically, she is a talented enough gymnast that she was able to compete at the Olympic Games, even though she wasn't part of that 4-man squad. And she had to do that by going to all the outside tournaments and placing high enough. I think she had already scored second on the vault and third on the beam, which qualified her for the finals in both those events.
Yep.
And now is replacing Simone in the all-around, which is where it's a combination of the 5 scores from all the events, not just your single best score from that event.
Yeah, and again, I watched all of those qualifiers on Sunday nights, and I thought she was lights out. I thought the scoring was shitty.
Well, it's about DD. So if you don't know gymnastics, it's hard to really understand what you're watching. It's their score based on the degree of difficulty of what they're trying to do.
Right.
Well, those in combination. Sometimes, like in gymnastics, they have very particular things that they know and they're looking for that make the attempt that much more difficult or might receive a higher score. Even though we watching at home just like, that looks fucking awesome. Why'd that not do better? Well, it's like, well, a bunch of girls can do that, so it doesn't always use the best score. So
Yeah. But even Simone Biles had said, look, her scores were really low. She deserves a chance to compete. Luckily, she's going to get it. And so that's the one thing I will commend her on, is stepping away early enough to give this girl time to prepare. And if this girl, like you were saying, was competing around the world to do this, she's already a fucking gangster. So I'm sure she's going to be fine.
That's just a testament to the U.S.'s quality of athletes, too. It's not just in gymnastics. We have a couple sports where we have some of the top athletes in the world all competing for that one spot on the U.S. team. And, I mean, it's a luxury of riches or a gluttony of riches or something.
Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Ryder Ross.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. She did give this alternate enough time to do whatever, right? Mm-hmm. What she didn't do was provide for a person who didn't make it there, right, to be there in the fucking first place when she was clearly not prepared to be there.
Right.
It's an issue that Major League Baseball had with the All-Star game.
You're taking somebody's spot. Yeah.
In the early to late, actually throughout the 90s, I guess, all these old dudes that were fucking great Hall of Famers were starting to retire, but they were doing their last dance year, like Ozzie Smith did it. Fucking Tony Gwynn did it. A number of guys did it, where they just played out their last season, every single fucking place they went to, at the end of the series or whatever, the last time they were going to see him, they did a whole thing like, thanks fucking Ozzie for all your years of whatever.
Yeah. Give him a rocking chair and some roller skates.
Yeah, and then they would also make the All-Star team as like a sentimental,
Yeah.
congratulations on your career. I mean, Major League Baseball just added another roster spot for anybody on their fucking, victory lap, if you want to call it that. I don't know if there's an elegant solution to this problem here, aside from just, I wonder if there's any kind of apparatus inside of the U.S. Olympics Committee that fucking pays attention to the mental health of these people.
No.
Does that even exist?
Well, so Michael Phelps did an interview last night, and he said, no, there isn't. And he goes, look, there's just not enough people provided for that or whatever. But the other part of this is you're a fucking professional athlete. Like, I don't really know what else to say at that point. You know what you're getting into. It's like these fucking actors who go out to Hollywood and they're like, I don't want to do press. Or, I was hard on fucking that Osaka chick for the same thing. You know what the profession is before you get there, and that's all part of it. If you don't want to fucking do it, then just do another job. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Same with an athlete. The Olympics, in particular, are a fucking pressure cooker. You're preparing for 4 years for essentially 1, maybe 2 nights worth of work, and the entire world is watching. That's what makes you the best in the world, and that's why I personally love the Olympics. And I watch all of them, summer and winter, every single year, because there is that one moment where you're like, oh shit, man, are they going to fuck it all up? What are they going to do?
And special, Ross.
Oh, yes. Look, Special Olympics as well. But, Garth Brooks, when he did the video standing outside the fire, pretty much he covered all of it in that.
He really did.
In my opinion. And that's Corky from Life Goes On, who was in that video. Very, very talented actor. Hit the ground really hard. A lot of blood coming out of his face when he's running that track event. But with that, you know what you're getting into and everything else. I wonder now how big of a distraction this is going to be for everybody else going into Thursday night's events. Look, for NBC, congratulations, ching ching. I mean, nothing could have been more perfect because now everybody's going to watch and the ratings will be massive.
They should be running a nonstop, not nonstop, but they should be running a commercial profiling this walk-on woman every fucking 30 or 45 minutes until that event happens.
Oh, I'll do you one.
Everywhere.
I'll do you one better. Last night, because this shit's running at like 3 a.m. in Japan, and then they're rerunning it primetime here on NBC. Last night during the Simone Biles thing, right when she was just like, "Oh my, I can't do a hard cut to, have you downloaded the Peacock app for NBC?" And I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I mean, they really fucking milked that moment. Did a full commercial break and then came back to it to go back to it and everything else. You can bet your sweet ass they are shipping out cameras to Jade's house right now to interview her whole goddamn family and get a backstory for all of those moments that you're talking about. Because there's going to be endless fucking montages of her as a kid training for this moment. She's finally going to get her big break, and the world is going to get to see her after all of her hardships.
What's
and
her
I'm
name
here
again?
for all of it. Jade's her first name. What's her last name, Giorgio?
Carey.
Yeah, Jade Carey.
Jade Carey.
Yep.
How do you spell it?
Carey.
Yep.
Interesting. I wonder if they've put anything together detailing this person's life and how they got where they are. I mean, if I'm NBC, that's what I'm doing.
That's what they're doing right now. And Giorgio, by the way, to your point, now that I remember watching it Sunday night, I asked my wife, I was like, why is she wearing a different color uniform than the rest of Team USA? That's what it was for. Okay.
Yep.
My God, dude, what a fucking gangster.
Right? Taking the hard road.
Dude, I'm all in on Jade Carey. Let's go. I followed her right before we went on air.
Well,
on
this is
Twitter.
what the Olympics
I mean,
are
I'm all
supposed to
in.
be. There's supposed to be like a couple of personalities or some kind of overarching theme, whether it's, anti-Russia or some shit back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or now, like give me something to fucking cheer for and then I'll care.
Yeah.
Right? As a person going through more hoops than is necessary to be able to get where they are because they love what they're doing, that's the kind of person I want to see perform.
Same.
A group of sprinters, not being able to qualify for the Summer Olympics, come back during the winter, but make a bobsled team.
Yeah. What's that called? What's that movie called?
Cool Runnings?
Yeah, it is. You're
But
a big Cool Runnings
It's
fan.
a compelling story. What's not compelling is watching a guy who just spent $4 million on a Lamborghini fucking boat fight someone. That is not
McGregor.
entertaining at all.
Well, if you're
Sorry. I mean, there's something about the fucking struggle and the process that locks people in and makes them perform better than they would under other circumstances. It makes the truly talented perform better than they would under any other circumstances, right? That is it's the fucking apogee, to use Tim Kennedy's word, of mental and physical fucking fitness, really, is to get to that point, to have that amount of focus plus physical capability plus preparation to do all that. It's very impressive to me. I like seeing things like that.
And look, Jake Paul yesterday, since we're talking about McGregor, said they are in serious talks to fight Conor McGregor, and it is advanced. As long as he beats Woodley, that is on the table for a mega fight coming off of that foot injury. You can still box, and I think he would be fine in that, and McGregor's going to want that money anyways. It would literally be word for word what I called on the show. And
Did you hear about
walk away.
the Dana calling Logan? Putting him
Yes.
in Billionaires Row.
Absolutely.
I was just like, okay.
Smart move.
Okay. I mean, just kind of building that bridge there
Yeah.
between the two.
Smart move, man.
'Cause what would you do with a Jake Paul Conor fight?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh
like,
God.
what?
How
Like-
hard? How hard could one beat off? Because you know me. I like the fucking entertainment factor
Yeah,
of it.
it's all the celebrity. It's the biggest celebrity possible.
Yes, dude. It's hilarious. Like, I love all of that weird shit, dude. Even the fight we were at with Mayweather and all that shit. Just walking around talking to Evander Holyfield backstage, like, for no reason except because we could. Like, it's great. I love all of it. I love the theater of all of it. Because I feel like this is what our grandparents and shit grew up with like Muhammad Ali. I feel like everybody's got like this crazy Muhammad Ali story. Muhammad Ali did something cool, said something cool, was flashy, throwing shit around, and we don't really have that in our era right now. Besides McGregor,
Is it Staples Center? Like, where do they do it?
Vegas? Vegas is the highest purse. Mayweather has figured that out for years and years and years, and Dana loves Vegas as well. So I think it's got to be Vegas. You'll get the highest box as far as tickets go. Pay-per-view is always going to be pay-per-view, but the highest box you could get is right there, my man, in Vegas, and I would love it. I would love all of it. We would be there, not first row because nobody can afford that shit, but
No, it'd be like a week-long event, wouldn't it?
yes, depending upon when they did it.
It'd be at least 4 or 5 days, yeah.
Yeah, and we would really milk that for every goddamn.
But it's
thing we
always
could.
at least 3 days anyways, because there's media day, there's press day, then there's fucking weigh-ins, then there's the fight, right?
Yeah.
So it's always 3. It might be a full week, to be honest.
And this would be the first time for Jake, I think, where he would get beats in the pre-hype buildup. Like the pre-hype buildup.
You think Conor's a better
McGregor.
trash talker than Jake?
Yes, dude, 100%.
I don't know. Isn't he saying more weird shit now or something? Like he tweeted something and then deleted it yesterday about Khabib or something, like insulting his dead dad.
Oh yeah.
Or some shit like that.
Yeah, but I like all that.
Conor McGregor's a fucking joke. He's a joke of a human being. It's like
He's become a sideshow.
yeah. Pick your dumbest, most pathetic friend and imagine them rich, and that's what they turn into.
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah,
It's fucking stupid.
but isn't it kind of what we thought? Like, I didn't have any delusions of grandeur after that Mayweather fight that he was going to turn into some fucking, multiple belt holding UFC champion again.
No, I mean that's what irritated. Well, I'm not even talking about the level of talent. I'm just talking about his personality as shit.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously a garbage human being. You know what I mean? There's lines you don't cross with people, right?
No.
Like it could be whipped your ass, and your response is to fucking talk shit about his dead dad. Poirier whipped your ass twice, and your response is to talk about how you're fucking his wife or something. What are you, a child? Shut the fuck up.
He's a grown child.
Basically.
I want to ask you about this Governor Abbott thing. Wheelchair. We got to pause for
I
it.
like to listen to the echo.
Same. We got to pause for that. We got to pause for wheelchair. There it is. Yeah. Give me a couple of Ric Flairs, baby. Wheelchair has just ordered the National Guard to help local law enforcement with arresting migrants as the state continues to see an influx of people crossing the southern border.
Right.
His request is for more quote-unquote manpower to mitigate border crossings in a letter to Major General Tracy R. Norris of the Texas Military Department. To respond to this disaster and secure the rule of law at our southern border, more manpower is needed in addition to the troopers for the Texas Department of Public Safety. What does this mean exactly?
I mean, look, I honestly don't know exactly what it means yet because we're not there yet. We're not at the enforcement level yet. Mm-hmm. But maybe being quick reaction forces, right? So you're around if you're a cop and a partner and you're out in a certain area and you see 15 people in a van, you can get 2 of them maybe. But honestly, you want to go plus numbers, so you're really just getting 1 in some cases.
Yeah.
And you don't know who out of that to pick, and it's a fucked up situation. But if you're in a small town, and there's a lot of them in South Texas, and you come across something like that, which is pretty fucking common. We talk about all the illegal immigration and trafficking here all the time. To be able to fucking roll up the goon squad and zip tie these motherfuckers up is helpful, obviously. So I would assume they're going to be quick reaction force. I don't know if they'll be actually doing patrols and stuff like that. I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's strange. The story just broke, but they are saying nearly 189,000 attempted crossings were reported in June. Mm. So it's a lot of fucking people. I don't know how that's going to work. They've reached out to the White House and they don't have a statement yet either.
Yeah.
Because to my knowledge, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because you know that world way better than I do, obviously. Don't you have to get permission from the president to have the National Guard in?
No, the National Guard belongs to the state.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, and until the governor can declare an emergency and then request that the president federalize the National Guard, right? And then they switch from Title 32 to Title 10, and I believe there is a way for that to happen from the top down as well, but they can't if the Texas National Guard is being deployed in Title 32 by the governor of the state, which is his right to do. It's none of the federal government's business, really.
Yeah,
what's happening there? So,
yeah, it's strange. We'll keep an eye on it. A bunch of you guys sent it in today, and we'll keep an eye on it. But man, I don't know that I've ever heard of that before. So we'll see. Yet another thing for the Democrats to fly back to D.C. about. They're not even back here yet, right?
No. They're still quarantined probably because half of them got COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
And spread it to a bunch of other people.
That's right.
Insurrection Act of 1807 allows the president to deploy the National Guard in the cases of like an insurrection or something like that or something, but we've lost the ability to define what the word insurrection means, apparently, because what are the chances that the most armed population on Earth and the subsection of that population, which is the most armed in that pool, so the most armed human beings that exist on the planet, show up to conduct an insurrection in the nation's capital, and not one of them manages to bring a firearm? Not one.
Yeah.
Not one rifle, not one handgun. And that is what is an insurrection now. So that's a pretty low bar, right?
Yeah, and are you watching the hearings right now? Because they're going on. I was unaware that this was churning and burning out this fast.
Yeah, I've been particularly amused by Kinzinger just weeping like a child.
Is that the craziest shit of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, again, he was on the show and stayed at my fucking house. Like, never in a million years, dude. Endless messages about this. I'm like, dude, I don't know who that person is now. It's the weirdest shit of all time. I get you're up for a re-election in a district that is kind of liberal, so you need to toe the line, I guess, but to keep your job. Because I don't know what you do after that. You serve, 6 terms, and then what do you do? I know there's a pension or something after you finish in Congress, but
yeah,
how does that kick in? And he's a pretty young dude.
I mean, what happens? What happens is those people go to K Street in D.C. and become lobbyists, and then they work as lobbyists in the private sector for a while, and then one of their friends, like I don't know, Biden, for example, gets elected, and 3 of the fucking 3 high-ranking people from Blackstone, which has been buying up property all over the United States, farmland and stuff like that, and have shady ties to government. 3 of those people are in his administration now, right? That's how it happens. I'm telling you right now, this is the pathway for Kinzinger. He's going to try to make himself the Joe Manchin of the right, which is the fucking, whenever the left's in power, he's the fucking moderating force, and whenever the right's in power, he's moderating them back towards the left. That's what he wants to be. He wants the power. That's all it is. The only reason you would want that position is because you want that power, and that's fucking pathetic, to be honest. And he'll do that for a while, and then he's going to move on to the private sector at some point and get heavily invested in a bunch of fucking companies, and then he'll come back into some administration with the ability to affect the fucking investments he's made, just like all these other assholes do.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have to leave service to do it. I think it might be too late now for somebody his age to be able to do that shit. Like Pelosi built that shit up over the course of 30 years, right? I just don't think these days with too many fucking eyeballs on stuff, I don't know if, like, I don't think that AOC is gonna, she'll get rich off books and t-shirts and shit like that, but like not major investments into corporations. Like, I don't think.
She's already getting rich off it. Her doc sold for $10 million to
she'll get rich on
Netflix,
stuff like that,
so
for sure. Yeah.
I see a lot of that in her future. Because you can win one of those jobs and become famous and popular, and then make a fuck ton of money off of that, just capitalizing off of who you are and being outspoken in the press. And whatever, good on you, I guess, for doing it. But with Kinzinger, I didn't get that vibe. I reached out to Mike the Cop and Eric Tanzi this morning. And I said, hey, because when I woke up, they'd cut into like the normal NBC Today show or whatever the fuck it was, to show the hearings on the Capitol with the police officers and everything. I said, hey, dude, are you guys going to cover this on Failure to Stop this Friday? And they were like, yeah, I think we are. And I was like, great, because I still can't figure out what happened. It appears with some of that footage, like the gates were just magically opened for all these people.
Right.
We're not clearly going to get a fair trial out of this, which is why I was against it in the first place. And especially with the people who did volunteer to be on the committee were rejected by Pelosi, and it was just like, all right, well, how is that fair? But then, we'll take Kinzinger. And you're like, well, all right, he's already fucking hates Trump and everything else anyway, so you're just picking and choosing the people you want to get the decision and the outcome you want. I don't know what that does. For me personally, watching this fucking bullshit this morning, spend the money on finding out where COVID came from. That's, if we're going to fucking mask up and do all of the goddamn things, let's hold a committee hearing on where COVID came from that killed millions of people versus fucking 300, dudes with beards going through the goddamn Capitol building. Like,
knuckleheads.
Yeah, I'm over it. It's fine. We're all done with it. Find out where COVID came from, and let's try to figure out that whole goddamn sitch. Because right now, that's still affecting our everyday lives. More and more people, like Miami is reinstating mask mandates today. Austin is doing it on the fringes and everything else.
Well, they're not mandates. It is illegal to have a mandate in Texas now.
Right.
So they're going to have recommendations, but stores will have, individual stores will choose to do that. Interestingly enough, Kansas City announced they were going to do the same thing, and the Attorney General of Missouri is now suing Kansas City, just the same way the shit went down here.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the roadmap for all these people.
Yeah, I agree.
For all these states, rather, excuse me.
But even dropping my kid off this morning, I had to put on a mask. And we had Tim Kennedy on, obviously yesterday talking about his school. I was talking to my wife. I was like, dude, I'd sign up for that in 10 seconds. Cedar Park is a fucking hour drive for me, obviously. But, man, I'm tired of the bullshit. And then Google just announced today that they're going to require vaccinations for employees returning to the office. Isn't there a lawsuit in that?
Sure, there will be lawsuits. I mean, I don't know if it was the Department of Justice announced that it is technically legal for some of this stuff to happen, right? I don't think anybody's challenged on the emergency use authorization yet.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes. But I mean, look, I don't care about any of that shit, to be honest. Like, yeah, I do care about the intrusion into people's right to do what the fuck they want to do, because that's kind of what we do here in this country. But I'm more concerned with how fucking stupid everybody is. It's maddening that these people who have fucking kind of crowned themselves as the scientifically literate side of the political spectrum are completely oblivious to how anything works anymore. Like just basic math. And we're going to talk more about that on Fake News tomorrow.
Yeah, because the death rate, like that's the number I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I can't find it anywhere. I can't.
No, you're not going to
find
that
anybody
anywhere.
who's died from it.
You're not going to find any statistics on that, because for the same reason that Nashville's mayor was hiding statistics there, because it doesn't fit the narrative they want.
Right.
It's it.
Because I was talking to my neighbor last night, and I go, hey, dude, how's it like for you? I'm not going to say what corporation he works for. And he goes, it's fine. It's like a store-by-store basis when we go in and everything else. But he goes, just for my own self, I looked it up for the county of like how many people were admitted for COVID. And he goes, it was 10. 10 people and no deaths. And I was like, oh, well, fuck, man. If you watch the news, it seems so much goddamn worse. And, and he goes, I just thought I'd lob a call in and ask.
Well, even let's forget about the new stuff. Think about last year and the data we got. Now that we know what we know, it's just nonsense. All of it's nonsense. And the problem begins for me that we were able to be convinced that nonsense was reality so easily. That's a bigger problem. Asshole fucking power hungry bitches are going to try to do that shit forever, no matter what the circumstance is. The defense against that is an empowered and educated population that is resistant, for lack of a better phrase, to this kind of fucking bullshit. And we are not that. I mean, I would even fucking a lot of otherwise reasonable people I've known for a while are fucking still hook, line, and sinker into this shit. And it is absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
So I think we're just fucked, to be honest.
So do I. And I was looking at this Pfizer report that came out today from their data, and they're suggesting a third dose of COVID-19 vaccine strongly boosts protection against the Delta variant. Delco, you did this, right? Did you get the two shots?
2 shots deep.
Yeah, 2 shots deep. Be honest. Like, would you be amped about a third if they were like, hey, dude, you need to go back and get a third?
I don't really give a shit.
I mean, it depends on. I haven't heard any research or data on what a third shot might do to you. Insofar as you don't always feel a little sick from each one, or a little sicker each time, or it's not always the same. It depends on the interval and all that stuff. So if it didn't, I don't know if we know how badly it affects you. I know the second one's usually worse, right? You get brain fog and a bunch of other bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, we watched you that day. It was a lot of heavy breathing from you that day.
Yeah, a little heavier breathing, and I just felt hungover.
Oh, really? How long did it last?
Like a day.
Like a day, and you were fine the next day?
Yeah, it was fine.
And you came back and worked like a champion. Hot Bob just couldn't fucking do it, you know?
At least having a child.
Well, is the child out? No, it's not. So.
No, look, I'm the first person to go after that child once it's born.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
I'm going to start a rivalry with this child.
Yeah. Immediately. He's going to take him out, do things that the child can't, and then constantly tell them.
I'm just going to make fun of his baby all the time.
Yeah, you should. You should.
So the rivalry is between you and the child, or you and Rob?
No, I mean the child.
Yeah, the child, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to psych the child out at an early age. And the beauty of it is, it's named after Rob, so, like, it's going to be Rob Fox, the what, third or fourth?
Fourth.
Yeah. 4 sticks, dude. Are we calling him 4 sticks right off the bat?
Probably should look into that.
I'm here for it.
I think we should at least look into that.
I think 4 sticks is a great name.
It's not 4 sticks, though. It's an IV.
That's an IV, but it's the 4th. Yeah. Look, in the olden times, okay, it was just 4 sticks.
It was always IV.
Was it?
Yeah.
For Roman?
Yeah.
Roman numerals?
Maybe Robbie Liquid.
What about cavemen? You guys weren't there for that. They were fucking drawing on walls.
Well, we're going to monetize this child, so he's Robbie Liquid IV.
I like it a lot.
Thank you,
dude.
Dan. Thank you for
There
completing
it
that for
is.
me. I appreciate that.
There it is. If Liquid IV is down, let's monetize all our children.
Or the IV bus. Is that Dakota's new venture?
Yeah,
Or
he's got an IV bus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of wheeling around Austin. Anybody's fucking hungover and everything else. He's pumping them full of shit. That's rad.
Hey, why not? Somebody's got to do it. But yeah, it's what is I think is it OTD owned a Dash? I don't know if it's or a Dash IV or something like that.
I think it's Dash IV. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the goddamn company now.
Dakota Meyer is going to be doing God's work out there.
Just look up
saving
Dakota
people
Meyer
from
and-
hangovers.
Yeah, look up Dakota Meyer and IV. I think you'll find it.
Yeah.
There can't be that many of them out there. It's not like Letitia
Marcella Flores?
Ortez or whatever the fuck her name was. I don't remember.
Marcella Flores.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl who never existed. Ross thought there was literally an Iranian special agent, aerobics
I read
instructor
the
in
article.
Liverpool.
I read what I read, Giorgio. I read what I read. Okay.
She exists in our hearts and minds.
Yeah, and I read what I read. I want to believe in. Sorry, I believe in things. Sorry, I believe in magic, and you don't. I'm not going to apologize for that.
From a young girl's heart.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize for believing in magic in a young girl's heart. Okay, so shame on you. This is not the day to put shame on me. This is a day to heap shame on you. Something that will make you happy. If you've noticed, Papa G and Delco Dan have been a lot happier than normal here the last week or so, week and a half. Crypto is up big, and these
Why
guys
hasn't
are,
anybody made a crypto called Crypto and it's a dude doing the crypt signs like I'm crypto, right? Why is that not happening? Go ahead and do
It's
that.
15 minutes. Giorgio could do it.
It'll be worth $3. 6 years from now.
Yep.
I'm a crypto.
Well, you're going to find this one exciting, Giorgio. There is a rumor that the big Black Friday surprise for Amazon is that they're going to accept crypto. If that happens, that shit's going to go through the fucking roof, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Flex network powered by the AMP token, which is currently up.
Is that real?
70% over the
I'm
last
cutting
day or
his
two.
mic.
So would they not use Bitcoin?
No. It's they're going to use something that's Web 3.0, one of the newer blockchain technologies that's built off the current infrastructure. Most likely a sub ERC20 token that was originally based off the Ethereum network.
Okay.
But yeah, it's whichever one of these. Basically, these are all like competing companies for who will be the standard for basically validating all these transactions for Amazon. And
Yeah, and the other one was Apple, man. I know Apple's filed some patents for crypto as well.
It's the streaming wars, but like compounded for banking. It's like the
Yes.
digital banking wars.
Yes, it is. And I look, the more and more all this shit pops up, the more interesting it is. Again, with Wells Fargo bowing out of giving like business loans and shit like that, you're gonna have to start finding alternate ways to start paying for shit and funding this stuff. So I'm in it. I'm in it a little bit. Nothing I'm going to check my goddamn phone every 10 seconds for, but yeah, it is what it is. Dan, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm going to be at the lake this weekend, so.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Where at?
Ozarks.
Oh, no shit. How is that?
I've
never been there.
It's huge. I think there's more coastline in the Ozarks than there are in the entire state of California. It's a massive series of lakes.
No shit.
Yeah, huge.
Look at that.
Huge. And it's also where a lot of fun things happen, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the giant party to kick off the summer last year with no mask requirements, right? They were like, fuck you, motherfucker. And
Yeah.
our friend Jody was actually the one that was interviewed for that.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Is it that odd anymore? Like, I expect to see Drinkin' Bros all over the news now. That's all I.
She wasn't a drinking bro at the time. I don't know if she is or not, to be honest. I guess she does laugh sometimes when I say shit.
Yeah.
That
She's Drinkin' Bro.
yeah. But yeah, it's a fun spot for sure. Hopefully the weather's nice.
Yeah, we'll find out. Now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. Again, go to drinkinbros.com and submit. We have a lot of guests on, so we usually let the guests give the Drinkin' Bro, but when you do submit it, it comes right to our inbox, and we read it live on air, so it's here. And we also got some sweet merch going on there. So if you're out, are the tents up and the chairs and all this stuff on the merch site?
Wait, which ones?
The tents?
I don't think so. Let me check.
The chairs I ordered.
No, the
dude.
chairs are there.
Fucking
the tent,
dope, dude.
the tent we're still working on. We're working on different suppliers for it right now.
Yeah, the chairs are fucking awesome, dude. I ordered those to the house, and I ordered that cooler too. I'm stoked about the fucking
Yeah, the cooler's nice.
Yes, super nice, dude. Shout out to 85 Supply. All the shit is fucking dope.
Trev.
So go to drinkinbros.com, and there's a submission for it live to the show. This one is from Nick Roberts from North Carolina. He's been a listener for 5 years and is nominating Sarah Roberts. Reason for the nomination: I want to nominate my wife because she is battling a shit ton of health issues, but she continues to wake up every day and fight the good fight. She's one of the strongest people I know. She always looks for a way to go that extra mile. She has jumped into the rock crawling world with her Jeep. That's dope. I just saw that test with the Bronco too. People do that shit. That's fucking wild. And she's come a long way skill-wise in a very short amount of time. In my eyes, if anyone deserves to be the Drinkin' Bro of the week, it's her. She has been my Drinkin' Bro for 3 years now, and I couldn't imagine sharing this life with anyone else.
Pour some booze on them titties then, man.
Cheers.
Get the business.
And he says, oh yeah, and APAC. Hashtag APAC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys can hate the government and fuck. That's all anybody needs in life. Congratulations on finding someone that you can hate the government with.
Isn't that what the world is all about? Just finding somebody you can hate the government with and
It's
fuck.
like farmersonly.com, but it's I don't know, insurrectionistonly.com or what's the name that people call the guys that stormed the Capitol?
Yeah, what do they call them? The insurrectionists. Yeah,
I guess that's not really catchy though. What's a different? What else can we do there?
Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.com. Maybe, I don't know. Jared had this idea to do Viking funerals. Start a company that does like Viking style funerals. With a pyre on a boat that you shoot an arrow into, and the whole fucking deal, and then drinking until everyone gets alcohol poisoning, for example. Mm-hmm. Also, something the Vikings were known for. I'm not sure about the pillaging.
There's a lot of comments here down below, and
the Trump's insurrection of PP tapes.
Oh God, that's great. The Steele dossier thing was fake.
Yeah,
I mean, I wish it was real because it's hilarious.
I love that shit. That picture of Bill Clinton sitting naked on the bed is one of my favorite. I want Julio to make a painting out of that, and I'll put it up in my house. It's so funny, like where he's getting sucked off by the prosty or whatever. And Brittany says she'll hate the government with me, so that's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. Just find somebody you can hate the government with. That's pretty much all we're about in this life. And bang, obviously.
And fuck,
bang,
yeah.
I mean, you don't just want to hate the government and not bang. That's a lot of pent-up emotion for no reason.
Yeah, that's how people find themselves in militia camps in the woods, right? They're incels.
Yeah.
Involuntarily celibate because they haven't found their person to hate the government with. And look, sometimes it doesn't have to be a person. You can buy sex dolls at a relatively cheap price point these days. Why are you out there suffering, guys?
Yeah. Or go find a small bear, dude, to fuck out in the woods.
Yeah, not a baby though. You don't want to go to you don't want Chris Hansen showing up in a bear costume,
Obviously.
right? Like this one was just right. Right? That's like a 4-layer joke right there. I don't know if all you assholes follow that.
Fun show. I like these weird fucking Wednesday shows. They're a blast. We're doing somebody else's show after this today.
Yeah, Chris Van Vliet.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Big YouTuber. Is it live? Do we know, Nick? Are we going live on his channel? Find out.
We'll
You can ask him in 10 seconds.
Yeah, right. We'll be hopping over there to do that show. And good times ahead for the old drinking bros. Seltzer's getting ready to rock. The store is fucking wide open, dude. All these mugs, shirts, everything is available there. The Drinkin' Bros takeover is happening. Super, super fucking stoked about it. Thanks for tuning in, kids. As always, go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a review. It's all those goddamn advertisers
Actually,
care
you know
about.
what you should do is unsubscribe and resubscribe. Try that.
Oh, yeah.
I
That'll
heard
launch
that.
you to the top of the charts.
I just kind of want to see what will happen if everybody does that. We'll talk about it on Fake News tomorrow.
Yeah. Barstool used to do that too. That's how you get the shows at the top of the chart.
Maybe.
Just press subscribe and then resubscribe and then boom. It'll rock it to the top. And please leave a review on iTunes. For Dan and Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.